Hello and welcome back after a break. Now I'm going to talk about a trailer that I saw yesterday. This is what is generally known as a trailer review. But it's not so much of a trailer review as my thoughts on the trailer. The film is Nathicharami. Nathicharami is about the story of a woman who has lost her husband. The film's narrative is very strong, and it's a movie that goes through the thought process of that particular lady. She's stuck in her everyday life where people from her daily life keep giving her all sorts of notions about how life are to be led. But there is a certain duality of thought in her mind. On one hand, she wants to keep on grieving her departed husband. She wants to remain faithful to him because in her mind she still belongs to him. But at the same time, there is another aspect to life, and that is the physical need that we all have. Life doesn't end because something has happened. Life goes on. As one of the characters in the movie spoke so elegantly, the fact remains that we forget at times that we are also animals. There is a sense of governance of the social standards that has captured our existence. But at the same time, we have not gotten completely over the fact that we are still animal. We have animal instincts. Now, this lady, her life and her thought are stuck between her physical desire and her emotional belief. There is a struggle. There is a struggle for the physical desire that she cannot fulfill anymore now that her husband is gone. She thinks that a physical desire should only follow a marriage. But she can't get married to someone else because she's still so in love with her husband. This is a very thought-provoking movie. It's a very sad and a very heavy narration. There are nuances that women face all the time, even men do. Our society is as restrictive on men at times as it is on women, especially men who are beyond a certain age. Apart from that, I'd like to talk something about Balaji Manohar. I find his acting in the trailer to be a revelation. I'm reminded of the role that was played by Virgil Meganelli in the movie Tattoo, a Love Story. You see this character and his personality, as per what we have seen, is a world away from the imposing physical presence that he has. And I have a feeling that this movie is going to be a milestone in itself. While we talk about movies like KGF that are visually masterpieces, we tend to ignore the gems that are not huge in size but amaze you by their clarity and purity. This is one such offering. Nathicharami is a movie that Nathicharami basically means natural therapy. It means being healed naturally. But we have cut off ourselves from the nature, from the animal nature that we all have. So how do we heal ourselves while we are cutting ourselves away from our basic nature? That is a question that the movie asks, and quite elegantly. It doesn't try to be provocative. From whatever I have seen, it doesn't try to be shocking. It is a place where a woman is really getting frustrated within her own mind. She cannot seem to step out of the boundaries that are set to her by her own beliefs to a certain extent and by the society. So this is a narrative which I'm really dying to see. I think this is a movie that everybody should see because this answers and asks a question that to me is a question that's not asked often enough. What are relationships? What is the value of a relationship that's already ended? How long do we remain loyal to things that are not around us anymore? To people who are not in our lives anymore? It's a very, very point movie, according to me. And the way the trailer has shaped up, I think it has evoked that kind of emotion in me. And that is the only job of a trailer. The job of a trailer is to interest you in what's going on. If it was just about this lady's mental anguish, I wouldn't have been that intrigued. But the interaction between her and this heavily bearded macho man who is so sensitive to a certain extent, that got me. I'd love to see this movie in completely, in completion, and I would love to come back and talk to you about this movie when I've seen it and I've observed it completely. And maybe I will. All depends on whether this movie releases in a place where I am at that given point of time, and if I'm able to lay my hands on a DVD or something when it comes out. God knows when I'll be able to watch this movie, but this is definitely going in my bucket list of what to watch. It should in yours too. If it is releasing in a theater near you, go ahead and watch this movie. If nothing else, it'll make you think. And that sometimes is all that a movie needs to do. I'm Anupam, you're watching Today's, and I'll be right back after the break with a slightly more peppy news, because there's a new girl who's entering the Kannada film industry, and I'm going to introduce her to you. Thank you.